Hi friends, it's me, Cindy, and today we are going food shopping. Okay, well, I'm not really going anywhere, but I made a list. So we're going to talk about our food shopping list today. Um, because of COVID 19, and by the way, it is April 25th, Saturday, April 25th, 2020, and here in Pennsylvania, we are still a stay at home state. And by the way, the ones that are no longer just stay at home states, the first things they're allowed to do, I was like, really? Are getting a massage, getting a tattoo, or getting your hair done. I like the idea of getting your hair done, but you cannot do that and keep social distancing, which they're also asking you to do. So I don't know, the whole tattoo thing, maybe when this is over, I'll get a little rose or hummingbird or something. But for the time being, I'm staying put. I have respiratory problems. My husband is very healthy and has no pre-existing conditions. We're both under 65. We're both under 60. So we are not at risk because of our age, but I am at risk because of my pre-existing conditions. So I made a list for him. So the way I want him to shop, hang on. Nothing like a warm caffeine-free Diet Coke to get me going in the morning. Okay. So I told him I would like him to shop the perimeter of the store. And I did not invent this concept, as you know. I mean, if we shop the perimeter of the store, it's really a lot harder to get into trouble with foods you do not plan to eat or foods that might not help you stay within your points every day. So the first aisle that we come to in our market on the left is our produce aisle. So we have all vegetables and fruits. And I'm on the blue plan, but whether you're on blue, green, or purple, all vegetables and fruits except for potatoes and avocado are all 0 points. So we can have as much of those as we'd like, but also remember, please, those are not free. They're 0 points. And what's the difference? The difference is, oh, and by the way, what is not included are potatoes or sweet potatoes. They do have points, as well as avocado. And other than those, you're pretty good. So you want to eat, good, healthy amounts of those. But just because say bananas have 0 points, you don't want to sit down and eat 5 bananas, because say the average banana has 80 to 100 points, and there's 0 points for you. But if you have 5 of them, that's like 400 points. That's a lot. That is a lot of points. Okay, so if that's what you intend to do, and you're going to make it up in other ways by eating other things that have 0 points, and don't have all those calories, we don't count calories on Weight Watchers, but we do want to be smart. So, yeah, buy portions you will use, or, if you buy large portions, like we buy a really big 2-quart thing of strawberries, and I cut off the tops and I slice them, and so that when I'm ready to eat them, I'm not faced with this whole big 2-quart thing of strawberries, but I can, get myself out a cup at a time, and that works for me. You'll have to find out what works for you. And if you do have a way of making sure your portions of 0 point foods aren't too high, please scroll down and leave me a comment, because I would love to hear what you do to keep things in proper portions. So I'd love to hear from you. And I do respond to every comment, so I'd love to hear yours. So fruits and vegetables in the produce aisle. The other good things that are in the produce aisle that I like are some healthier options than you might find elsewhere for salad dressings, pita breads, barbecue sauces, things that they tend to be fresher because they are in the produce aisle because it's refrigerated. So you can usually find some really good things there. However, on the flip side, I was looking really hard for Bolthouse Farms salad dressings, and they're my favorites, and I assumed they would be in the produce section, but they're not. They're in the regular, with the rest of the salad dressings, and on the highest shelf imaginable, and I am 5 feet tall, so that it's not always what you think it's going to be, but once you find something, I always jot a little note down, so the next time I make my list, I will know not to look in the produce for the Bolthouse Farms, etc. Okay, so we have the produce. We're being careful on our 0-point foods, right? Okay. So now the next aisle in my store on the perimeter is the dairy. So dairy, cheese, cottage cheese, cream cheese, uh, yogurt, anything you can think of that has to be refrigerated that is a dairy food. Well, I have a kind of funny thing here, and that is that while I absolutely adore cheese, I mean, cheese is one of my favorite foods of all time, but I don't like fat-free dairy, fat-free cheese, fat-free cottage cheese, fat-free anything dairy. As a matter of fact, I would rather not have it for the rest of my life than to have a fat-free slice of cheese. They just don't go well with me. Other people who are also cheese lovers, they just love to melt that cheese on a sandwich, in an omelet, whatever. It's just not my thing. You have to know yourself and what you're going to like. So I would rather than have 0 points, say, for one slice of cheese, I'd rather use 1 point for one slice of cheese, or 2 points for 2 slices of cheese. And actually, the Velveeta slices I eat are 2 slices are 3 points, but I would rather make that choice and an educated selection than eat a piece of fat-free cheese. Just not my thing. So know what you like, know what to look for. I love light and lively, low-fat cottage cheese. I eat Philadelphia cream cheese with 1/3 less cream cheese than regular. There are ways to get your favorite foods and eat them on Weight Watchers. You may have to, compromise in some areas, but over time you'll find out, you'll adapt, and, so anyway, the dairy section. A lot in there. I try not to spend too much time there. Oh, and yogurt. You could spend forever in the yogurt aisle. So, yeah, make a list, be prepared. Again, I told you my husband's going to do the shopping, so it's going to take him a couple hours, but we'll figure it out. Oh, also, in the produce aisle, I love this thing. I always talk about it, called Just Crack an Egg. And it's a little cup. It's got 3 packets inside. One has little potatoes in it, one has bacon bits, and one has, potatoes, cheese, and bacon bits. I forgot the cheese, right? Whoops, I lost you there. And you add an egg, and you stir it together, and you microwave it. And it is such a delicious breakfast. So I always get those, and because you need 1 fresh egg to make it, I always buy eggs. So the eggs, remember, also in the dairy section. So if you have problems with the cholesterol, of course, you can always get, artificial eggs, or, egg whites, or eggs with less yolk. And so good things to be found in the dairy aisle. And then next you have the butcher aisle. And the butcher aisle is great. Take advantage of the fact that these people are butchers. So if you want to have a steak, say it's been like a really long time, I can't even tell you the last time I had a steak was, and you want a 4-ounce filet mignon, say you're splurging financially and diet-wise, right? So all you need to do is say to them, I would like 2 4-ounce or 6-ounce, whatever, filet mignon steaks. And they will take the filet roast and cut down 2 steaks for you. Or if you're not seeing a family-sized pack of boneless, skinless chicken breasts, then you can just ask and they'll make it for you. So be sure to utilize the services that are available to you at your market. And if they're not available to you at your market, maybe there's another market nearby, same distance, that will do these things for you. So really, really nice. Also, next down around that aisle is the fish. Lots of choices for fish. Shellfish. On the Blue program that I'm on, I can have all fish, and shellfish are 0 points. So it's really a great way to have a delicious dinner for 0 points. If I have fish and I have vegetables sauteed with them, and maybe a half a cup of rice, and I've got a nice, healthy, low-fat, low-carb dinner. So don't be afraid of fish. I know sometimes I have a tendency, I'll see the fresh fresh fish, and it'll say, you know, flounder and haddock and bluefish, and then maybe it says like carp. And maybe I've never had carp before. Well, maybe it's time to just try something new. Maybe you don't like it so much and you won't buy it again. But really, it's this is just a fun time to be trying new recipes. So there's not a lot of things we can do out there in the world right now. So I say go for it and try some new foods. And then finally, the deli aisle. Well, the deli aisle can be a little challenging because anything that is red looking, like salami, bologna, Lebanon bologna, these things all have a lot of nitrates in them, and they're just not great foods for our bodies. They're also very high in fat, and so there's things we want to stay away from, but there's also some great foods like low-fat turkey breast, Alpine lace Swiss cheese that's low in sodium, low in fat. So there's some really good things to be found in the deli section, but what I found is that I go back to the other half of the dairy section and look at the Hillshire Farms, where they have 1 ounce of turkey, which is like 5 or 6 slices, is at 1 point. The Black Forest ham, very, very delicious, and 5 slices has 1 point. So I'll get a flatbread. The type I get are called flat out flatbreads. They're really big, and they're 2 points for the whole thing. And I'll take the 5 slices of the ham and 1 slice of 1 slice of Velveeta cheese cut in half. I'll use a little spicy mustard, a little tomato, and roll it up. And normally I can only eat about half of that, but delicious lunch. And it's like 2 points. So if I'd have 1.1, really 1.5 to 2 points for this like giant roll up sandwich in a wrap. So, okay, so we are going to go to the deli. We're going to go to the produce. We're going to go to the butcher. We're going to go to, did I say dairy already? Yes. So we want to just shop the aisles. When we get into the inner aisles with the cereals and the, rices and rice-a-ronis and salad dressings and barbecue sauces and things like that, I try to be very specific about what I want to buy, make a good list for those things, and don't buy anything I didn't write down, because there are a lot of purchases in those aisles that are impulse purchases, like, a new kind of peanut butter, or, you know what I mean, there's all kinds of things, a cookie. Oh, these only have 3 points for a cookie. Well, you don't want too many of those things in your cart, because those will add up and add up. So pick up what you want, maybe one thing that's sort of a treat for you that does fit in the program each week, but again, you don't want to go bonkers. So shop the perimeters, get most of your food there, get a few things from the inner aisles, make a list and check it twice or 3 times or 4 times. And if you have any ideas, little tips and tricks that get you through the grocery store, please leave your comments below. I would love to hear how you shop and get some ideas from you. So y'all take care. God bless you. I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you again real soon. Bye.